What's happening, everybody? Tato Khatebe here. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really do appreciate you guys very, very much. So for today's video, I just thought it's very important for us to start at the basics, right? And the most basic thing that any jeweler needs are your tools. I think that goes without saying. Without your tools, you wouldn't be able to manufacture anything. So for today's video, I thought, how about I show you guys the top 5 most important tools that any jeweler will need. So if you're watching this right now and you're thinking to yourself, I really want to get into this jewelry trade, what kind of tools will I need to get in order for me to start? This is the right video for you. The tools I'm about to show you are the most basic of tools, and by no means are they all the tools that you will need, but they will give you a very good start in order to begin. All the other elaborate tools that we use in the jewelry trade will be covered in other videos, but for today I just thought, let me show you guys what my top 5 most important tools are in any bench. And once you have those and you start making a little bit of money and you can start building on those tools, we will then talk about all the other tools later on. But for right now, this is my list of the top 5 most important tools any jeweler needs. Without further ado, let's hop into it. Alright, so let's hop right into it. The very first thing that you're going to need is this tool right here. This is known as a saw frame. Now what a saw frame does is it's used for cutting metal, okay, whether it's gold, silver, brass or copper, platinum, anything that, even steel, believe it or not. This thing can cut through any sort of metal that you can basically use in the jewelry trade. But this thing doesn't just go by itself. It needs a partner, and that partner, as you can see, is this little guy here that's attached to it. This is known as a saw blade. Let me just show you what it looks like. So the saw blade is that, you can't really see it, but basically what this thing is, it's a very thin blade that's got serrated teeth on one end of it, okay? And obviously with these teeth, they are then used to be able to cut through the metal. I know that as you're looking at this, you're thinking, man, this looks very thin and you can't really tell that it's got the serrated teeth to it, but trust me, it does. And these teeth can, as I said earlier, cut through any of the precious metal that you're using. The next tool that you're going to need are these guys over here. These are just your basic jeweler's files, okay? So there are 2 varieties that I've got over here. I've got a flat file and I've got a half round file. Obviously, because of the way that they have different uses. So the flat file is used basically for flat surfaces. So obviously, just like any other file that you'll find in any hardware store, you use this thing to be able to smooth out any edges and to make sure that your metal is nice and smooth. And because it's a flat file, you only use this thing on flat surfaces. Those would be your second set of tools. Now, it doesn't just end there with smoothing out any edges. So after you're done smoothing out the edges, the beginning stages of your finishing, you want to then move over to this next set of tools. These are known as your sandpaper, or your buff sticks, or emery paper. There's a lot of names that they are known by. And basically what these are, this is the next stage of your finishing. After you've done filing using your files, you then move over to the sandpaper. Now these sandpaper, as you can see, they don't come as you see them like that. They actually come like that. So as you can see, when you buy them, they come as sheets of paper like that, and they come in different grids. So the roughest one that I have over here, this is the 180, followed by 320, followed by 600, and then the smoothest one we have is 1200. So as you can see, as I mentioned, those numbers, those are what's corresponding to what you see written on the sandpaper at the top over there. So you take your sandpaper and then you wrap it around your buff stick. And then for ease of reference, so that you know what grit you're working with, I would suggest you write the number on the top over there. As I mentioned, the roughest one is 180 grit, followed by 320, which is smoother than the 180, followed by 600, which is smoother than 320, and then the last one is 1200, which is the smoothest one out of the pair. Now, as you can see, mine have seen better days. It's probably time I did change them, but these are consumable, so you go and buy these. As soon as you've used them and there's nothing left of them, you go and you get a new pen, then you wrap it around, and then you can continue working. The last one, I think this one goes without saying. This is a jeweler's hammer. Now, a jeweler's hammer, just like any other hammer, is used basically for any sort of flattening that you're trying to do to your metal. So if you've got a piece that you need to have hammered flat, or if you're doing any sort of riveting, or if you are basically trying to maneuver the metal in any way and you can't really use your fingers, or you can't use any other sort of plier or anything like that, you'll then take your jeweler's hammer, and you know, it is what it is. It's basically a hammer which you then use for hammering any of these jewelry pieces that you're trying to work. That's basically it, guys. That was my list of the top 5 most important tools that any jeweler will need in their workshop. I hope you guys learned a thing or two from this. If you did, and if you have any questions or any comments that you want to ask me, you are more than welcome to drop them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until we meet again, more videos coming up very, very soon. Peace.